You need to do this one more time, Max. Please. No? Are you done? What are you eating now? Ugh. Egid. Max, drop it. Hello, friends. It's Simone, your favorite neighborhood nerd. Wow, there's cable here. I'm here today to maybe get into a better mood. I am super sour, not happy, but my problem is that I cannot pinpoint the reason why I'm so, disgusted is the wrong word. I'm just not myself. I'm annoyed by myself because I'm so annoyed and I don't even know why. But I am ready to, throw some fists. I don't even know at who. Kind of. That's the problem. Max is here. He's the only cutie patootie in this place. He's the only person who understands me. He's just a puppy, though. Let's stop whining. I have thought that maybe if I would sit down and just film a Snippets video, very relaxed and laid back, maybe that would put me into a better mood. And the first thing that I would like to do is swatch some inks that I have received from my friend Casey. Why is every single person driving by my open window right now? So if you hear that, this is just how it is. I have a beautiful Inkapet. It's the Inktopus here. 3 inks. Inkabara Deer Brown. This is the reason for the package. This is a beautiful swampy ink, and I'm all for the swamp life right now. Then she also sent me Franklin Christoph Olivet. Now this unfortunately leaked a bit, but she put some tape around here, so it didn't really do anything. The only thing there's some here, little bit of ink right here. And then she also sent Pannonia Ink Dependence Navy Beans. So the last Inky swap samples session, I was able to swatch Pannonia Ink Dependence Mr. Nose's Peepers. And now I'm getting to swatch another cat ink, Navy Beans. So I am using four things. I'm using this ink. I lost the name right now. Swink. There we go. Wendy Sue from Fountain Pen News is the person who thought of this glorious idea. She was able to get some cut off resin bits from pen making, leftovers from pen makers, and then she finished them off with resin, and it's super cool to swatch inks. I really enjoy this method, and that's why I do it. There's tons of methods. Then I'm using one of those pipettes and my bronze Kakimori dip nib and some water, and that's basically it. Everything that I need. I love using an ink holder. I really like this one because it's really deep. So let's keep Inkabara Deer Brown for last because I'm very excited about that. Please, if you hear Max in the background and you do not enjoy background noises, I think it's safe to say that they won't stop anytime soon. So please just, dip out if that's annoying. I won't be able to stop that from happening. This is a Pilot Parallel nib section on a Benu Pixie, which I really love. This is my favorite color of them. such a vibrant pink. And the Inky that is in here, is A Room of One's Own by Wearinghul. So samples. I think I'm also in a foul mood. So what I've been trying to do is, number one, I'm trying to figure out what prickles me right now, why I'm so sour, why I'm in such a foul mood, and what I need to do or what I can do about it to make myself feel better. Samples from Casey. So this, talking about stationery, for instance, is definitely one. Unfortunately, you have to hear about my woes right now. But I also found that I'm not really having fun being in my room right now. The reason for that is, you guessed it, it's not clean. And I think what I've discovered while I was thinking about, I'm so upset, I'm so annoyed by my life, by myself, by everyone that surrounds me, is that when I moved in here, I just chucked everything, basically. Oh, I need to open these. Oh, that gives me time to just ramble, you know. I moved everything up here, and the only things that are organized and put away nicely is stuff that I reach for often. And the stuff that I don't reach for often is clogging up another whole shelf. And what I probably need to do is just, you know, bite into that chunk and go for it. I just need to tackle the stupid stuff instead of just always picking the cute things, because I'm pulling out things, I'm doing stuff, I'm not putting it away nicely, so some of this stuff is not organized well. It's just, you know, it needs to, who did this? Why? Friends, why? Why is there water droplets? So I need to just bite the bullet and deal with it. Oh my gosh, this is such a beautiful color. So one thing that I'm really annoyed with right now is the fact that I picked a color palette. I swatched it, I filmed it, I inked the pens. Here is a sneak peek at a video that is coming. I really like this. I took this out and swapped this in. Oh, and then I also accidentally didn't close the sample, so I substituted Konpeki for Rainier Blue. So it's not exactly the same, but I'm having so much trouble with these. This ink is in a pen that is stained inside, and I thought it wouldn't do anything, but the color does not look, every time I write, the color that comes out of the pen does not look even close to this one. This ink I have, it's already in the second pen, still don't like it in the pen that it is in. So I'm thinking, am I swapping it out again? This I don't like at all. I'm gonna get rid of this ink bottle and I'm going to try and we're gonna do that later together. I'm gonna try and mix a purple ink that I enjoy more. But again, the color that comes out of this is nothing like the color that I imagine that I see here, at least in the writing. I know it's not the same as in the swatch, but still it's like, why? And I'm regretting uninking the pens that I had inked for August because I really enjoyed them so much. You know, that sucks. I've also, another thing that really annoys me, and actually it made me anxious, which I have not really, since I stopped working for Starbucks, I haven't really been anxious at my job ever. But I have a coworker who just, let me think, ink dependence. That is a long thing. Navy beans. Yeah, so the way that she behaves and talks when she's upset, which there is a lot to be upset about right now where I work, and not unjustified often, but it makes me anxious. Like, to the point that I'm standing there and like, what is wrong with me? So today in the morning I decided, well, first of all, just gonna be really laid back and not involve myself. That worked. And if I would feel anxious again, I would just say something. And if she went off on me, then that's just what's going to happen. I need to stand up for myself, and that's not healthy. A healthy work environment. But so stuff like that, like the pens. And then I think it's super anticlimactic. I finally ordered all of the things that I need, and that's so expensive. I think that also really upsets me, that even though I bought a lot of budget gear for backpacking, because I'm starting from scratch, and I realize I am privileged because I can just go and buy it. But also, like, how is someone who is starting from scratch supposed to, like, are they just going to buy stuff over months and months? I like this too. This reminds me a lot of this Sailor 2024 Pen Show exclusive. Like, if I want to buy gear for backpacking, then I would like to go backpacking fairly soon thereafter, right? But if you don't have the money, then how long are you supposed to, like, oh, look at how it changes. How long are you supposed to buy stuff in small increments until you can finally reap whatever you sowed? Is that how it's? I'm trying to say an idiom right here, but I'm realizing that I don't know what I'm talking about, basically. But yeah, so how long are you supposed to wait? You need to make friends that are backpackers that would loan you stuff, which I don't have any, Christoph. But it's super anticlimactic because it's basically like, it's not like it's a room full of stuff. It's a tiny box that everything fits inside. Yeah, thanks for listening to me ramble. So it's only similar to this 2024 show ink in a small, in the beginning when it goes down, it dries to a very different color. Maybe it's close to Sailor Manyo Shirakashi. Is that what it's called? It reminds me of those. Yeah, this is so good. I like this too. I'm not giving up on my color palette just yet, but I'm very, very tempted to just, start over. I have another idea too. I recently sorted my pens by purchasing date, and I've noticed that in recent times, what I've done is I pulled ink samples. I created a palette, or not just samples, inks in general, like this. And then I tried to pair a fountain pen with the inks. And I've been really not tempted. Yeah, tempted. Tempted is a good word, actually. Like, I wanted to challenge myself. I haven't cleaned the drawer out of ink just yet. So there's some pens that have been taken out from here. But what if I just take 10 pens, these 10, and ink them? You know, start with the pen instead of the ink. I haven't done that in a while, or can't really recall that I have done that ever. So now, what if I swatch this and I'm like, blah, don't like it? So I'm gonna share something really personal too. I'm also quite annoyed right now that none of the members of my family are interested in anything, in any of my hobbies. Like, they're not interested in fountain pens and inks. And also, like, I'm diving into this backpacking thing. It's like, stuff is coming. It's like, yeah. And I'm like, I feel maybe I'm not seen. Maybe I need to advocate. Oh my God, this is so good. Where can I buy this ink, please? I love this. Oh my goodness. Let's see how it dries. And yes, that was an ink orgasm. Yeah, I need to advocate for myself and let them know, hey people, why are you not interested in the things that I do, fuckers? And I feel like it's probably, if I say this, everyone else in my family feels the same way, which is not healthy. Dear Brown. Brown. So we definitely need to maybe talk about that so that we can find ways in order to appreciate each other's uniqueness, be more interested in their stuff. And it's that stuff is really, really hard when, you know, everyday life is just so busy and you're so exhausted after getting up, doing your thing, going to bed, rinse and repeat every single day. And where's this color coming from now? Is this, oh my God, these look so good together. So maybe I'll save them for November because this just feels bad. And then I'll start over with a palette that is so good. Why? I don't know. So, however, I do have some better things to share. I don't want to keep talking about all the things that annoy me. But yeah, I right now I feel like the world is conspiring against me. So yeah, like for real. Hey, see, even this journal, what you cannot see is that it closes. The window is open to my left over here, and so there is a fresh breeze coming in, and then the book closes on itself, and it's not even dry yet. Why? This is my reading journal, and maybe you'll remember, I will link the video in the cards above. 1934. I need to write that down. Need a pen and paper. 1934 link. I am documenting them, very greatly inspired by AJ McGarvey is their Instagram account, and her name is Jenny. And the review journal that was inspired by the way that she documents her reading. Now, I did not want to use an A5 journal. I wanted to use a traveler's notebook. And so I took inspiration from that review journal and decided to make this my own. And I'm making a collage in PicMonkey. This is the online photo processing app that I'm using, which will charge me soon for another year. I just remembered. Oops. And now I dropped off. Yes, so I'm creating collages. It's like 36 books I need to be reading in order to be able to print. And now we are here. I was able to print another one this past week. And so I sat in front of the TV and printed all of the covers, and I really like how this is turning out right now. So I'm doing basically one spread at a time when I'm writing in what I want to say. But this looks so good. So I unfortunately, this was returned before I was able to finish reading it. And then I forgot to write about this. I also uninked the pen, so I need to take a different pen now. How dare I? Oh, maybe, I think this is Konpeki. So I inked Konpeki in a pen again. I could it's a different nib size, but who cares? Could finish that now. But here we are. I'm currently reading North Woods. And I have to say, I don't know what to say about the book at all. I think this is the very first time that I've ever listened to a book, where it was so explicitly about a place or a location, basically the North Woods, that's specific property there, instead of the people. And there's just stories in different times about the people and how they connect to that specific part of land. And it's super interesting. And the audiobook is fantastic because each segment is narrated by a different narrator. So you get that really super interesting experience. It's not like every segment, let's call it segment, I think it's chapters, but then there is like poetry woven in between. So each segment, each narrator basically that you are reading about in the book, it's different perspectives. Sometimes it's a report, sometimes it's multimedia, like there is maybe a newspaper article, and it's not the same type of writing. That's what I'm trying to say. So it could be written by somebody completely different. I've heard about this book through currently reading. The author is Daniel Mason. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you have read this book, how you liked it. There is some new supernatural, like they're alluding to supernatural things, which I'm normally not a fan of, but it totally worked in this story. It left me surprised that I didn't like dip out when that was happening. I'm in the last 40 minutes, so I can't wait to see how this ends. And I'm tired too. So that's the book that I'm currently reading. And it's not printed because obviously, but yeah, I'm trying to find the good things. I really listened to a lot of good books recently. All of these books on this page are fabulous. Like, if you haven't read the trilogy about Fionn Morgan by Claire McIntosh, I read all 3 of them this year. What's the first book called? The Last Party. Man, I highly recommend it. The first one is The Last Party. The second one is A Game of Lies. And then the third one is called Other People's Houses. It just released September 16th of 2025. And man, super good. I really loved them. These characters are there's so much depth to them, fully fleshed out. The stories are good. So good. And then Becky Chambers, Psalm for the Wild Bull and A Prayer for the Crown Shy. These books both go together. Man, so good. So maybe it's not all bad, but I just can't see the good things right now. These are good things, all of these. So yeah, I'm not even halfway through this yet, but this book is still going strong. I still really like the way that I'm documenting and logging these books. I think this is a really good system for me. And if just in case, something is really touching me very deeply and I want to elaborate, I can do that in my regular writing journal. So I wanted to show you all of those pretty pictures because I'm so excited. I think it looks so good. Yeah. That's the reading journal. I really like. Me gusta a lot. So mixed purple ink is the next one. I didn't bring any water. So I found that the only real purple, oh, sorry, Max. You know what? I should have just, I'm not someone who likes to support Ferris Wheel Press for various reasons. You do you. I don't like them. I don't really want to promote and give them airtime on my channel. So maybe that's just the color telling me, well, you know what? Don't make an exception for me. So this is off the table now. I should have just listened to my instinct and said, nope, let me just not. I have Watermelon Tender Purple, and someone suggested to just mix it with a black. Now my problem with that is that I do not have a black ink that is not permanent, and that I do not want to do. So I thought, well, let's mix it with a gray. And I think the best bet would be to just use diamine. I feel like diamine and watermelon are similar enough to risk it. And I do have diamine Earl Grey. I also have, I think, and that is also even a purple leaning gray, so I think these wouldn't clash. Now, how do we do this? I think we need a sample vial. There. I know that, who did this? When Julia does it, she like, whew, does it in a mixing well. Let me see if I have one, because that would be cool. Well, I did not find one besides this one. So we're just gonna make 4 different ones. How do we do this? Maybe we'll just do 1 and 1. One part, 1 drop of, I'm gonna put, so let's fill this up. And I'm going to put 1 drop of this ink right here, and then 2 drops, and then 3, and then 1. Then I'm going to put all of this back here, and then we'll see what happens, right? So what I'm thinking is, I want to do a 50-50, so 1 and 1, 2 and 1, 3 and 1, and then 1 and 3. Because that's 4. And then if I like any of the ones that I have made, I will make a vial so that I can fill that pen with it. So okay, here we go. 1, and if that doesn't work, I might need to repeat this. 1, 1, and then 1, 2. Oh no, I'm not going to do 1 and 3, I'm going to do 1 and 2. And then if I don't like this, I want even 1 more, I can add 1 more after. That makes a lot of sense, right? Yes, it does. So, okay. How do we mix this? We'll just grab this swizzle stick right here. And maybe I'm completely wrong and this is not the perfect gray for this. I do also have palette Iroshizuku Fuyugaki, I believe is what it's called. Yep, no, Fuyu Shogun. So let's just put this on the bottom right here. So you can see these ink colors, they're all really lovely. I think that's a start for November, which is where we go and again, not pick the pens first, but the inks first. Maybe that's like, what's your personality? Are you an ink first or a pen first person? This is Watermelon Tender Purple. And Diamine Earl Grey. All right, so I'm just using this swizzle stick to mix the colors, and then 4, so we'll just go here. what, oh, maybe I should have swatched tender purple first. We'll do dots right over here. Okay. I'll bring this over here. So tender purple is very bright, but it's not very different. Well, you can see it's more pink. This is darker. I don't dislike it. Wow, that's a lot of negatives there. I'm not sure if that's going to be it already. I think I should write something with my dip nib actually. There. And then we have Earl Grey is right here. This is 1 to 1. I'm moving all of those bulb holes up a little. All right, so next one is Swizzle Stick, Left Me. This is the 2 to 1. I think because I want a darker purple, I think I should have gone the other route with 1, 1, 1 and then 1, 2, 3, but it's okay. I'm learning, and I'm learning that this is not the way that I should have gone. That's okay. This is 2, 1. So basically the question is probably going to end up being, do I like a 1, 1, a 1, 2, or a 1, 3 even? But we didn't mix that. So then this is a 3, 1. So it's even closer to the original color than this. It's getting lighter the further down I go, obviously. I think there's almost no difference between these two here. This even looks brighter than that. Okay. And then this is 2, 1. I think I want to try the 3, 1 as well. The 1, 3, 1, 2, 1, 3, and then I'm just going to do smaller ones right here. One, 2. Okay, so 1, 2, that means that if I want to add, I need to add another drop to this bottom one to make it even darker. Obviously, we could try this with various different grays. Okay. And then we'd be able to see if the purple would change the hue as well. So I'm not sure. I think I like the 1-2 best, but we'll figure it out. This is 1-3. I will show this to you when it's dry. Excuse me, sir. Okay, I will show this to you when it's dry, but I'm actually leaning to this one right now from what it looks like. Ouchie. So, and then I will mix and empty and then show that new pen that I inked with, blah, blah. I will share that with you in my currently inked or possibly in a snippets from my desk video sometime soon. Who knows? Now, I do want to talk about one more thing. I wanted to show you how I'm currently using my journals, because I remember that I kind of struggled. I switched journals and then it didn't work out the way that I liked. Then I was contemplating getting what journal I was going to get, and I made a very spontaneous purchase that I want to share. I haven't received it yet, but it's coming in October, but I want to talk about why. So currently I am journaling mostly in this and this. This is a standard size traveler's notebook. This is the road trip one. And I have 2 inserts in here. This one was the one that I wanted to start with. The last time that I made an entry in here is August 24th. We're a month later now. I haven't put anything in here. I think what this is going to end up being is just an overflow of ephemera. And this is the weekly undated vertical insert. And I have been putting stuff in here. I think this is a journal with me video that I shared. And I didn't really like how this turned out. I didn't like how colorful this was. I wanted to tone it back down a little after here, even though I'm not disliking it. I just felt like it was too much. Well, actually, I like this. I don't know. Weird. But that one was the beginning. Maybe I felt like it wasn't cohesive enough, or I struggled. Let's just put it this way. Like, I'm currently struggling with all the things. And then I decided, you know what? If I want to have some sort of cohesion, what I need to do is take out things and use the same thing. So in this, I used those bubble letters that were a freebie in a newsletter from Brandy Kincaid. And so I mimicked the typography and then made all of my writing like that. I really liked this. The next week I completely skipped, and that happens, which is really great that this is an undated journal. And so this was last week. This is definitely more colorful and bubbly, kind of like exuberant, but it takes up a lot of the same ideas. Here I used one fountain pen here. I used the same pens to write with. I wrote the titles in the similar way. Here I used 3 different pens, one fountain pen. I used the same type of colors and sticker sheet all over the whole spread. And then I just let loose, kind of. Oh, and was greatly inspired by my one of the people that I started watching when I started getting into traveler's notebooks, super inspiring, Florence Antoinette. She's Live Live and Create on Instagram, and she has that really that distinguishable style, and I think my style is very much based on what I learned from her. She always uses a lot of stamps, so I tried to use a lot of stamps here, and I filled the whole space up, kind of, and I really like this. So I want to go and do that same thing for this upcoming week. And I think the first journaling entry over here is going to be that I'm so annoyed with myself, and here's the things that I want to do in order to change how I feel. Because I feel like that is part of my journaling process, and I do not shy away from creatively journaling, maybe even pretty journaling about things that upset me. So that is one. This is working really well. I should have started with this one because I received an email, or I was curious about the Hours Research journal that is using Huva paper. I've never heard of that paper before. And then so I talked to my friends on my Discord and asked them if they had used it. And I watched some swatching videos on YouTube on that paper, and it seems to be really good for all sorts of media, just like I'm using here. Watercolor, stamps, stickers, everything, fountain pens to a certain extent. And so I thought that would be perfect. And instead of the take a note that I was debating and thinking on, which is 2 spreads per week, like 2 A5 spreads. This is 1, 2, it's actually an A4 page, but it's A4 horizontal, 2 A5 pages, 2 more A5 pages per week, which was really overwhelming to me for a long time when I was using this. It's a weekly spread. It is dated, but it's a weekly spread in an A5 next to each other. So, well, let me grab this back. So your week is going to be on here. And the way that it is formatted is that it's these boxes here. So you have each page is divided into 4 rectangles. This is an overview of the week. And then you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't know if I'm going to use that ever in that way, maybe in the beginning when I'm trying to get a grasp on how I want to use this. But I think there is some layout on there, which is something that I really like and prefer as anchor points, starting points for my layouts. It is bigger than the narrow standard size traveler's notebook, which I love, but I feel kind of crammed in here. And I think I would love to expand a little more. And so adding those 2 centimeters on each side and creating a weekly spread like that would be the next logical step, because clearly this was not the next logical step. So that's my very on a whim. I was like, I got an email from Nico Neko, hey, pre-orders are open. And I'm like, you know what? I think I'm just going to do that. And then that's my creative journal for 2026. I really love making spreads like this. I love that when they're just 1 week, even if I don't get to it all week long, I can pump one of these out on the weekend and, immerse myself fully into this 2-page spread. And I think an A5 would still be very doable on a weekend. 2 A5s, 2 spreads, not so much. So I ordered it and I made that decision, and I'm feeling really good about it. I will share that journal with you when it gets here. And then I talked about this too. I really love using my fountain pens on Tomoe River paper, specifically on the newest, oldest Sanzen paper, like the first iteration of Sanzen paper. And this is that. And so I thought, yep, let's go back. I didn't really like writing with my fountain pens in here, even though I thought that's what I wanted. I also didn't really enjoy using them in here for my creative journaling. I felt like I wanted to go back to the black. But then how and where am I going to use these pens? And there's not enough space to, vomit stuff onto the paper. This is an A6. It's small, and sometimes word vomit is much bigger than A6. But it's very, there's a very low barrier to entry, because you can fill an A6 page, especially when there is these freaking quotes on the bottom. You can fill them in no time. Like, this can be done in 5 minutes or less. And that is what keeps me coming back. And I also like that I don't really have to, because I'm already redating the things. So every time I feel like word vomit incoming, or I should maybe turn to this and just write what is in my head, I'm just using a sticker with a number sticker that I have in here. And then I'm just sticking with it here and I'm writing. And I really like this, and I think this is what I want to continue doing for the foreseeable future. Would I love a journal that is dated for 2026? Yeah, that's kind of tempting. But also, the no pressure feeling of this journal, because I'm already redating it. I don't have to come in here every single day. There's no guilt attached. It makes it really lovely. And I think I will not go out and purchase one that is dated for 2026. I do have several A6 of these. And don't we all love spending money on stuff? Yes, I would be tempted, but also deep inside, like, my realistic self knows that the better option would be to date these things myself. So that's my journal update that I wanted to share. Let's look at, okay, now this is fun. Let's look at this. This is not really discernible which one is the darker one. I almost think that 1 to 2 is darker than the 1 and 3. I think this is moving more into the gray part, but I think that I prefer the 1 and 2. So what I will be doing in my empty vial is I will use these marks. I will fill 2 milliliters of Earl Grey and 1 milliliter of Tender Purple. Shake, shake. And then fill my fountain pen with that. Alrighty. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for listening to me word vomit onto you right now. I appreciate you taking the time. I can assure you that I will be okay. I have coping mechanisms. I talked to you about those right earlier. So please don't think that I'm not going to be okay. I just feel like sometimes we need to also just normalize that we're not the happy, cheery selves that we often are and expect of ourselves, and it's okay to be in a funk. We just need to know how to get out of that, how to analyze what's happening, just like we analyze why we like and don't like this specific pen and ink pairing. We also need to do that with our own emotions and figure out what is actually going on and how we address those things in order to make us feel better. Sometimes they're really tiny things and sometimes they're bigger. Mine is definitely like in the I need to clean this up sense, a really big and huge chunk. That's why I've avoided it for so long. But also it's like sometimes it's hard. It's hard to advocate for yourself in front of your family and friends. It's really tough to say, hey, I'm not okay, and the reason for that is you. Please be nicer to me. Look at the state of this country. Like, what do you expect? Let's grab a big shovel and just dig a hole. Goodbye. I hope to see you next time. I'm not going to be that fast at digging that hole. And I will share my progress. I am joking. Until future me is feeling better. See you then. Bye.